Who is the final host for the symbiote in Marvel's Spider-Man 2? Who will be Venom? With the upcoming release of Insomniac's latest Spider-Man game on the horizon, anticipation has reached a fever pitch. One of the big reasons? The inclusion of Venom as a clear and present threat in the narrative. But who is he? What role does he play? And how will he affect the game? Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here. In this video, we're going to look into the reasons why it could make sense for Peter Parker to become Venom as we delve into the thrilling world of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Join us as we unravel the potential twist that could rock the Spider-Man universe. Spider-Man has faced many adversaries throughout his crime-fighting career, but one of the most iconic villains he's encountered is Venom. Made famous by their battles in the comic books, Venom and Spider-Man have had a long and complex history. And now, with the release of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 just around the corner, fan speculation is rampant over who the identity of Venom could be. Fans should know, Insomniac has stated that Eddie Brock is not the host for Venom in this game, a notable break from the established identity of the infamous villain-turned-anti-hero. While I personally can't just let myself believe them, Marvel fans have been lied to and misled before.
I'm not the werewolf.
It's worth considering who else could serve as the symbiote's main squeeze, if you will. If you've seen the story trailer, Harry Osborn is an obvious candidate, but I can't help the feeling he's a red herring. So, assuming it's not either Eddie or Harry, who else could it possibly be? There are a number of characters who could serviceably fit the bill to be Venom. Mac Gargan, Wilson Fisk. Hell, they could introduce the Sin Eater, or someone else, just to make him the host. But the most tantalizing possibility, to me at least, of course, is Peter Parker himself. Before we get into this, please thwip the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is primarily a Spider-Man channel focusing on reactions, analysis, reviews, and fun speculations like this one. I also have a Spider-Man podcast, The Webline, which streams most Sundays at 2 p.m. Central Time. Give it a view, a listen on Spotify or another podcast service, and thank you. So why would it make sense for Peter to be Venom? Let's take a look at the clues, starting with what we know from the first game's narrative. In Marvel's Spider-Man, we saw Peter struggling to protect the city as well as the people he loved. Between the Devil's Breath crisis, his mentor Otto Octavius's gradual deterioration and turn into the villainous Dr. Octopus, the discovery that his friend Harry Osborn was actually sick and not off on some grand trip to Europe, and the devastating loss of his Aunt May, Peter was clearly put through the ringer as he faced personal dilemmas and made heartbreaking sacrifices. This inner turmoil is a perfect setup for the symbiote's manipulation, making the hardships Peter has endured a strong possible well of negative emotions for it to feed on. In addition to the narrative possibilities, there's also the general aura of fascination around the symbiote and its hosts that makes Peter's turn as Venom a compelling possibility. Venom's origin in the comics is intrinsically tied to Spider-Man. The symbiote initially bonded with Peter before moving on to Eddie Brock, becoming the iconic Venom we know today. While that won't appear to be the case in the game, it could beg the question popular enough to have been explored several times in the cartoons and comics already. What if Peter had bonded with the symbiote? This premise has been the subject of several comic storylines, most notably in Marvel Comics' What If, Volume 1, Issue 4, What If the Alien Costume Had Possessed Spider-Man, and more recently in the Chip Zdarsky story, Spider-Man, Spider's Shadow. In the What If story, Peter seeks help from Kurt Connors, Reed Richards, and Stephen Strange to break the symbiote's hold on him, but it's simply not possible. The creature is too strong, and it has already bonded too completely with Peter. Since the symbiote feeds off of adrenaline, particularly from superpowered individuals, it keeps Peter on the move until he runs out, at which point it abandons him for the Hulk. leaving Peter aged to the point of being an old man, and he soon dies of a heart attack. In Spider's Shadow, it is suggested that the bonding of the symbiote to Peter was more of a choice for Peter. Having the symbiote makes Peter more aggressive and reckless, leading to his Aunt May being killed in a clash with the Hobgoblin. This prompts Spider-Man's oldest foes to work together to kill him, as the Avengers and Fantastic Four look for a way to contain him. After a vicious fight with his enemies, the symbiote abandons Peter and overtakes Reed Richards, setting the stage for a battle that will determine all their fates. Peter's struggles to rid himself of the symbiote before it bonds to Eddie Brock are a matter of record in the comics, the films, and the animated shows. If Insomniac were to spin a scenario where Peter holds a similar conflict with the symbiote and loses to its influence because of all the turmoil he's had to shoulder due to the events of the previous game, they would create a powerful and emotionally charged journey for both Peter and the players. By bringing this twist on the conventional origin story to the game, Peter becoming Venom would add a whole new layer of complexity to the story. We could explore the darker side of Spider-Man's character, showcasing the inner battle between his sense of responsibility and the symbiote's insidious influence. The narrative potential and possibilities of this setup would be virtually limitless, with it perhaps falling to Miles, with Mary Jane's help, to bring Peter back before the bond becomes fully permanent. Of course, this speculation raises many questions. How would Peter actually become Venom? What would the consequences of his transformation be? And how would it impact his relationships with the other characters, such as Mary Jane and Miles Morales? All of these questions can only be answered by playing Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and believe me, I will be playing the hell out of this game on day one. But one thing is for sure, if Peter does become Venom, it would undoubtedly be a game changer for Spider-Man fans and gamers alike, pushing the boundaries of the Spider-Man universe and delivering an unforgettable gaming experience. So what do you think? Do you believe Peter could become Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting updates on all things Spider-Man. And if you'd like to see more Spider-Man content, you can find it right here.